Hello, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian D. Lerner. I'd like to talk in this particular video about um, what happens if your spouse is abusing you. I've had a lot of even people who have unfortunately been subject to spousal abuse, but they are afraid to get out because their spouse basically says, if you tell, if you do anything, I'm going to call and you'll be deported. And so unfortunately, many of the women who have this unfortunately decide that they're just going to live with the abuse and suffer in the hopes they won't be deported. That's how bad it would be to, be deported back to their home country. However, there are ways around this. You don't have to live in an abusive situation. In fact, they have what are called VAWA petitions, Violence Against Women Act. And you can actually file a battered spouse petition, whether it's through physical abuse or severe emotional abuse, and your spouse does not need to know a thing about it. You can move out tomorrow and file the petition completely without your spouse's knowledge. And the law says that your spouse, anything that your spouse may submit to immigration, saying whatever, cannot be considered in the ruling on the petition. So the way it works is, and it doesn't take more than one time. If you're abused one single time, one punch, one push, whatever, you're eligible to apply for the VAWA petition. There's no need to be intimidated, afraid, scared of moving forward with this because of what the unfortunately what your spouse is telling you will happen. So what you need to do is get out of the abusive relationship, go find somewhere to live, and find someone, an immigration attorney who knows what they're doing to prepare the battered spouse petition. If it's approved, sorry, if it's approved, then what will happen is you will then be eligible to file the adjustment application and go from there. And then if approved on the adjustment application, you end up getting the green card and being able to adjust your status. Now there's all kinds of ways of preparing a good battered spouse petition, but the main message I want to get through here is you do not have to live in fear and live in a battered relationship just to stay in the country. In fact, the strange part about it is you probably have an easier time getting a battered spouse petition approved than trying to stay with your husband who's beating you, because he's going to keep using immigration against you as it is. Okay, more on the coming videos.